Hey y'all, welcome back to Long Farms. Some of y'all probably been wondering where I've been. I hadn't dropped off the map just yet, but as some of y'all may know, in one of the last videos I'd actually run over my other GoPro, and so I sent it off. And part of the deal when I first bought it is if something like that happened, they'll send you a replacement camera for of course less than the price of a brand new one. Waited on it a couple of weeks, come to find out that's sent it to California. How in the world it got way out there, I'll never know. So after some further emails, calls, and different things going back and forth, finally got this camera that y'all are watching a video on today. So Long Farms Farm Channel is back in action. So hopefully y'all are ready for some more videos and all that to be coming out here this summer. So thanks for tuning in today. But I don't know where y'all are at, but here in East Tennessee, it's about, I think, 95, 96 degrees today on July 28th. I think the heat index is, of course, a little bit up over 100. So, but still, I couldn't wait to get the new camera out and try it out and make a video for y'all. So, let's see what we can get into today. Really not a whole lot on the farm I'm going to do today. As let me get back out of the shed here. As my little girl is spent the day over at my grandparents' house, so I'm gonna do a little bit here, then go over there and be with her until we go to church this evening. Because as most of y'all probably didn't know, my dad is a full-time pastor. He has been since before I was born. He's been at this current church now. I think this is his 28th year. The start of the 29th here coming up in October. So I'm very thankful to have a dad or parents that raised me and my sister, and also my little girl in a good Christian home environment. But today I'm just gonna be working on the old Honda. It's maybe a little rough around the edges just because the Honda, the camo on the Hondas isn't quite the best, as you can see it peeling up there. I thought about getting some new plastic, but just needs a good bath after being at the racetrack and used around the farm. Oh, there's the farm logo if y'all haven't seen them. Seen it. Established 1900, Long Farms. Maybe hard to tell on the camera, but it's pretty close to, I guess, John Deere green that you can get. But I'm actually going to be headed to West Virginia here in a couple of weeks, I don't know where my mind's at today. Next week, gonna be meeting some friends from Michigan, because I've had friends, those same group of guys, come down for about 17, 18 years now. They've been coming down to ride at a place that's about an hour or so from the house called Windrock. I'm sure that most of y'all have heard of if you're in the off-roading world. And also Rural Blue is it's actually on state-owned property. It's about an hour and a half away from the house, so they just wanting to change it up this year. We're gonna ride up there at the Hatfield McCoy Trails. Be staying there in Liburn, West Virginia. So if any of y'all are in the area next week, towards the end of the week sometime, and you see my Dodge with the farm decal on it, or the decal on the four-wheeler there. Don't be afraid to stop and say hey, and I'll probably have some extra decals with me just to pass out to people I meet on the trail. But just gonna go over a few things, try and get it ready. I've got a box for the back. I need to mount it back up, as I took it off when I used it some at the racetrack this spring and summer. Need to put it back on. It's what I keep my tools and tire plugs and all that stuff in it. So hopefully get it mounted back on here in the next day or two. Just a couple extra things I'm going to take with me on the trip. Especially being so far from home. It's about a 5-hour drive from here. Got a full tie rods for both the right and the left side. Went ahead and bought the rods, tie rod ends, the nuts, adjustment nuts for the rods, and then of course the nuts for the bottom of the tie rods themselves, which may have to order some extra of those, but we'll get to that here here in a little bit. But actually, back when I first got this, I guess it's, gosh, it's been about, I can't remember how many years ago. Not long after I got the four-wheeler, I put a aftermarket HMF exhaust and a uni air filter, and also a Dobeck Gen 3 fuel controller, which works a lot the same like you'd put a tune and say like a hot rod truck or diesel truck, or like a Mustang, Corvette, or even just like your F-150. It just changes the fuel and the timing just a little bit. And with the weather being so warm lately, I actually need to turn it down just a little bit, turn the fuel and timing down. That's what they suggest when it's about 85 degrees or warmer. And even though it doesn't hurt it to run it where I've got it set at now, I'm just gonna turn it down just a little bit. I don't know about you all, but these little plastic tits or clips or whatever you want to call them, push pins, are a pain in the rumpus. But I just got the fuel controller up under this cover here. Need to fix the, did have Velcro there, but of course, so you need to fix it. Of course, it's got a couple where I can mode and everything, but I usually only just mess with a couple of the settings. So let it turn on here. I'll let it do its thing for just a minute before I can adjust it. I don't know if y'all was paying attention there, but it's got the different lights on there, mean different things. But I normally just mess with the first three settings. I changed it to 1.5, 4.5, and 3.5. Let's turn it back on, let it do its thing, and I'll run it back through, see if it's doing what it's supposed to do. So it looks like we're good to go on that. And then of course in the winter time I just turn it up to 2.5, 5.5, and then 4.5 on the settings. So should be good to go for the trip next week. This can be in the about the mid 80s, middle upper 80s all week. So it's definitely gonna be a hot one. Hopefully they'll get a little bit of rain up there, because if not, it's gonna be dry, but it's still gonna be a good time. Now I had just a little bit of coolant, but not much. For no more I'm gonna put in, I'm just gonna pour some of this Prestone like you'd pour in your regular vehicle. And I don't want to pour too much. Oh, just a smidge over full, but not enough to really worry about it. Really need to do an oil change on this thing. I've got the stuff to do it. Of course I'll do it for my trip, just to make sure I got good oil and everything. Just gonna check the air filter here. Yeah, air filter looks pretty good actually. May need to take it out and clean it and put a little bit of oil on it anyways, but that uni filter, I've had real good luck with it. I was running the K&N, which isn't the foam style like this uni here. I had some friends say they had some trouble with them plugging up wide on the trails, so they got me to try out this uni filter, and I hadn't looked back. Even dusty conditions, knock on wood, hadn't really had no issues. So let's take it out here for my trip, wash it and oil it, and should be good to go. Other than that, that's about it for today's video. Like I said, there's really not a whole lot going on at the farm right now, just doing little projects here and there. And one of them is I need to get caught up on some bush hogging. And I've got the 7-foot John Deere hooked up to the Kubota. Of course it's hot, and there's AC in that tractor, so I'm gonna take advantage of it. But what I'd really like to have one of these days is at least a 12-foot batwing bush hog. That would sure cut down on some of the time on the bush hogging. So if y'all have any suggestions on batwing bush hogs, you just leave them down in the comments. And so we've talked about getting one, but we just hadn't pulled the trigger yet, so we may do that in the future. But thanks for tuning in, and thanks for hopefully you watched the whole this whole video, or at least thanks to the few that have. But not just kidding, but in all reality, I do thank each and every one of y'all for viewing the videos, whether you view it for 30 seconds or 20 minutes. It doesn't go unnoticed. So but be sure to, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel, then also hit that bell off to the side, and that just lets y'all know when I'll be posting more videos. It'll send you a little alert. But thanks for tuning in. Hopefully y'all have a good rest of your week, and remember to, especially in this hot weather, no matter where you're at, farming or whatever you may be doing in life, be sure to stay hydrated, because of course, especially this time of year, heat exhaustion and a heat stroke can be a pretty bad deal. So just be sure to stay hydrated. Try and stay, I know it's not always possible to stay cool, but stay as cool if possible as you can. But thanks for tuning in. Hopefully y'all have a good rest of your week, and I can't believe it's almost August. Year's already halfway over. But thanks again for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.